I think, look, we need to go back to the basics. Okay. The establishment of the office of the Special Prosecutor was just a political gimmick with no substantial consequences for legal practice in Ghana. It's a political gimmick. And we said so. And everybody ignored our counsel. The NDC ignored our counsel because at the time it did not want to be seen to be against measures to fight corruption, even though they knew clearly that this was a useless gimmick.
Welcome to the Anti-Partisan Network. And I hope, let me try and explain things more. I believe in consistency in character or behavior. If somebody changes their behavior or character based on the days or their feelings or based on any other external factor, that presents to me a person that I cannot trust. When the President Mahama organized his first public discourse, which I applaud, by the way, it's beautiful, and it surprises me that Ghana just recently discovered this. This has been going on in other countries for a very long time. Politicians do this all the time. So it's a little surprising for me that people are applauding or people are behaving that it's a new discovery. I applaud him too, that he did it. But I didn't know that people didn't know about it. So my applause will not be as high as the people who didn't know about it, because I already knew about it. And so I applaud him that he did it. Anyway, so when I said that people are inconsistent in their behaviors, when the NDC came power, when they assumed power, they had already promised people that they were going to declare a state of emergency concerning the mining activity, the galamsey, the whole thing. But when they assumed power, during the public discourse that the president organized, he said something that they legally have some few trump cards, some abilities, some legal abilities that they can exercise. Should they exercise these abilities in success, that means if these abilities should be able to curtail or stop illegal mining, then there's no need to declare a state of emergency. So they know that they have these legal exercises or abilities that they can perform. But then why did they say that, or why did they include it in their campaign that they were going, the most effective solution was to declare a state of emergency? Why did they do that? And if one, they believe that doing things the old way, that means exercising these legal abilities to extinguish this illegal mining activity without depending on the declaration of the state of emergency. If they knew this, if they had this knowledge, why did they start the office of the Special Prosecution? If they know that there's an old tradition, or there's a traditional old system of doing things already installed, why did they propose one and not fulfill it, but then fulfill another one? So you see, when we want to apply common sense to these things that these people they see, there will be a need of a rise of questions, a lot of questions. And these questions, they only indicate one thing, because in the presence of confusion just means the absence of the truth, because the truth is the light. It enlightens everything. It makes you understand everything, your reality, your life, and everything. So if these people are doing things that give rise to a lot of questions and confusions, do you still believe that they are telling the truth? So now, do you see the importance of common sense in this situation? Applying common sense to almost school knowledge and almost school yansam, it makes you see things in a different light. Although it does not make you see the truth that they are hiding, but it makes you become aware that something is being hidden from you. So this is the Anti-Partisan Network, and on today's video, Mr. Kwesi Pratt, he does this thing where he talks about the OSP I think they are involved in a fight or in a tug of war with the Attorney General office. I think he does this thing where he presents some certain facts and some certain education for us to understand the position of both the Attorney General office and then the OSP. Because I think if they are involved in a tug of war, I think they both think they are on the same level of power. But according to my knowledge, the Attorney General should be the overall. So let's watch the video and try and understand or witness this development that is going on with what this new government has put in place to fight corruption.
The NPP on its part wanted to create the impression that it was taking the fight to corruption, the fight of corruption.
You mean the fight against corruption?
Against corruption to another level. This is the gimmick which brought the OSP into being. Because you see, no part of Article 88 of the Constitution, clause 1 to clause 6, has been amended by the establishment of the office of the OSP.
Fact.
Now, if you read Article 88, clauses 1 to 6 of the Constitution, it is clear that the Attorney General is still in charge of all criminal prosecutions and all civil suits against the government. It's still the authority, the final authority. Now, let me read the article for your benefit. Article 88, clause 1. There shall be an Attorney General who shall be a Minister of State and the principal legal advisor to government. That is clear. 2. The Attorney General shall discharge such other duties of a legal nature as may be referred or assigned to him by the President or imposed on him by this Constitution or any other law. 3. The Attorney General shall be responsible for the initiation and conduct of all prosecutions of criminal offenses. Clear. So clear, no other authority in Ghana, including the OSP, has a constitutional responsibility for prosecuting criminal cases other than the Attorney General. 4. All offenses prosecuted in the name of the Republic shall be at the suit of the Attorney General or any other person authorized by him in accordance with any law. This is where the OSP comes in. Okay. So when the OSP is carrying out prosecutions, it is deemed that it is doing so on the authority of the Attorney General.
The name of the age. Okay.
You understand?
Right.
Now, clearly, if the OSP starts a prosecution, any prosecution, the Attorney General can, without the permission and reference to the OSP, enter nolli prosecutor. So this OSP contraption is just a joke created for political purposes. You understand? Now go to 5. It says the Attorney General shall be responsible for the institution and conduct of all civil cases, even civil cases. It says the Attorney General shall be responsible for the institution and conduct of all civil cases on behalf of the state, and civil proceedings against the state shall be instituted against the Attorney General as defendant. 6. The Attorney General shall have audience in all courts in Ghana. You understand? So this contraption, and the OSP is just a contraption. This contraption was created for the reasons which I've stated earlier, but really in substance has no powers. It's subordinate to the office of the Attorney General. Completely subordinate to the office of the Attorney General. So that must be clear.
So what did we do?
What did they do?
We've created an institution that cannot take its own decision. Anyway, you just, please go ahead.
Yeah, but you know,
no, but you see, he's right. They have created an organization that is not independent. So anything that they do, they have to report it to someone else. But here is in this situation now. Okay, now here's the whole story. I think, sir, Omone finance minister issue. Ken Ofori-Atta is so baby. Now, yes, Ombra Nipo Betimia invite and also Betimia extraditing a free foreign country, AG, Attorney General. Attorney General and also Bisa Office of the Special Prosecution for the case files. So, also among finding in our mano. I don't know, some finding in our mano, dear. Some finding in our mammy, dear. And your Milsonia, Medim, Melquaco can be a mamma say extraditing Nipan. Because minim case files, minim case Nina. Maybe Busa will say, and then I met my Yamawa. What catch him say, you met my Yamoni. And I'm saying you can hear question me at me, I was Debbie. You bet me met my Yamon and on Kwana bit me a catch him. Nasameko ye, no Nasameko dim was my brother who said me dim was it. Why is the reason why into movie told case file? Nothing to non person or funny or person in our bed, Edema Attorney General. But meanwhile, you're checking near Mr. Kwesi Pratt kind of CA. You won't send OSP in so much Attorney General office on Wasisu. And then there was some. But I'm also meaning send Attorney General or me NDC for. And a OSP in say NDC for. I talk about it for you for why I did fight it. I didn't just say, but you let's continue.
You are right.
And they want
an institution which has no original powers. Okay? Now, with regards to the current dispute or apparent dispute between the OSP and the Attorney General, there are allegations against Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta, and I think it's important to emphasize that these are allegations. These are matters of public interest. These are matters that the OSP wants to investigate. So as we speak now, Mr. Ofori-Atta is not a criminal. He has not been convicted by any court of law. But there are suspicions, there are allegations, there are matters in which the state claims that it wants to set the records straight in order to be able to determine whether or not he should be prosecuted. The OSP started this investigation. Now, the OSP insists that it needs the physical presence of Mr. Ofori-Atta to be able to carry on with this investigation, which may lead to prosecution. Mr. Ofori-Atta, on the other hand, insists that he doesn't have to be physically present and that he's ready to do everything possible through his lawyers to enable the OSP to establish the facts of the matters before them. This is a contention between Mr. Ofori-Atta and the OSP.
Because he's unwell.
Yeah, Mr. Ofori-Atta says that he's unwell, that he's suffering from prostate cancer.
Yes.
Okay, which is very interesting. That's a separate matter. There are so many people in Ghana who are alive. They are working in the public services. They are working in the private sector. Some of them may be in jail. Some of them may be working at the highest echelons of government and so on, who have prostate cancer. Prostate cancer is not an excuse.
Hey, Mebacho, I beg you, it's an excuse. I beg you. Like, it is laughable, Ken Ofori-Atta so prostate cancer. Yeah, it is very laughable and a very interesting development. But it is an excuse. My brother, it's an excuse. If the person cannot travel, prostate cancer, any Johnson, you cannot force the person. It will make extradition a little bit difficult. But ebia onone okokoye ye no ebia allegations na omode bonu ebia na enyampa ebi so na yampa ebia na yampa so ni prostate cancer ba ebi so na yampa so prostate ebia there's a lot of changing variables factors. So but the most interesting thing is say the ina say Ken Ofori-Atta wa mismanage Ghana funds new government buy we dwan akwa kwhye baby yeah minim say be o say an investigation we dwan kwhye baby dia but On say maybe person menka from the narrative of the omo accusing we dwana kwa kwahye baby. Yes, almost omo hia the physical presence and say na omo timi prosecute no. Ono say hu hia so beba. Any legal proceedings bia or lawyers on betimi present no. It is a bibia ni on fanfa lawyers no so. When they reach a verdict, na say also call them 9 years, 10 years any na waba. But for now dear, or see the prostate cancer aba. Into or hospital Abuchi. I'm assuming that. But on say, I think say South African videos. I am a assassin. We say, you see the ministers. This is what they do. If it is true, so or hospital on the prostate cancer into Abuchi hospital. And the Ghana hospitals near. On say, no much in your Abuchi or they are capable of it. Another thing when they say I'm fan say I'm pass what mismanaging Ghana Fanta. Once because of so we scale with me trap plenty kitty. We can cool. Say extradition now and go through. That's the case we say it reaching the statute of limitation. And one no. And one the case that foolish case. And one no. And I say I'm pass more evidence about backing this accusation. Now say omo pronounce verdict. That's a nipa no one bar. Why I wanted internationally. First of all, we didn't care escape. In the physical presence in the hand say. It is already means an answer or plans to be or the guna kwanswa. Sammy, I can't caporu again. Like I want to sort of like emphasize the importance of how we as a country we can function or operate on our own. How important it is. Because the moment we start depending on other people, it's like yen can't be. If se meet me a cotton by before the any who here say a bayan or Miami kum. Se meet to me a cotton by on say. Yena yen to mean tom. You see, I na ye pre. Think ye be where your country more and can ebo one beba for. Nanka yena yen to mean tom. Yet me a boy one near to be na yen so ya ton when ye ska. Aba be yet so. But you see, a bini because of say a bini had intino. Say a binya ba, ni boy yet. Into what only ska won't mean to be. Because of say a bini yen ye be wa hanintino. Oh, pizza, see a pizza yes, Ghana. No Ghana. Pizza junk food na ya fanya fi no. Yes, no Ghana. Beggar, but beggar is Gafodia and Ghana because of say ye nipi wa hunting. It's one say such situation we say, such scenario we say I'm trying to say I'm finding a way I can say be depending on you. Wow. This thing will keep happening all the time. The moment we start depending on ourselves, then we will sort of like start to see laziness as some kind of something evil.
Not performing national duties. It's not an excuse, cannot be an excuse. You understand? But that is his claim. Now, in the light of these developments, the OSP, in its wisdom, then declares Mr. Ofori-Atta a wanted man and issues a red Interpol alert.
The OSP did
because
that.
a red Interpol alert would not lead to his extradition. You understand? What you need to do if you want Mr. Ofori-Atta back in Ghana to answer questions and so on is to extradite him from wherever he is. And now the popular assumption is that he's in the United States of America. Okay. The OSP, because of its inferior position, inferior constitutional provision, cannot start an extradition process.
No, it can't.
It cannot. It doesn't have the power so to do.
Yes.
That power is vested in the Attorney General. Because of the OSP's inferior constitutional position. Okay? So what the OSP has to do then is to refer the matter to the Attorney General for action. Strangely, very, very strangely, the OSP now writes to the Chief of Staff to facilitate the extradition. How? OSP cannot communicate with its superior organ, which is the Office of the Attorney General, has to do so through the Chief of Staff. Whatever it takes.
What is going on? The OSP passed the AG back to the Chief. Are they of different parties or what? What is going on?
The Chief of Staff then forwards the letter to the Office of the Attorney General. The Attorney General says, look, we cannot start the process of extradition if there is no docket.
No, sorry, before you even go to that point, you know, the matter about why the OSP had to write to the Office of the Chief of Staff to seek some kind of assistance was because, and I've heard the Director of Research and Policy, and I believe it's communication also, explain that there's something they call the political character question. And the political character question would be, does Ghana want to extradite Ken Ofori-Atta to Ghana? Now, if we
have you read Article 88?
No,
have you read Article 88? If you've read Article 88, you will not go where you're going
the
at all.
OSP explains that that question ought to be answered. Yes, the Chief of Staff then says, yes, we want Ofori-Atta in this country.
The Chief of Staff cannot even make that decision without reference to the Attorney General.
And that is why the Chief of Staff then, the following day, you know, it was on the 2nd of June. On the 3rd of June, the Chief of Staff then writes to the Office of the Attorney General and says, OSP says he needs your help. Kindly support them. Kindly assist them.
Moro, don't waste your time.
Okay.
The issues you are raising is just...
You don't buy that argument?
It's not buying the argument. It's just a waste of time.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Because the Chief of Staff has
no... But you see, these people, they are very insincere. If the OSP is supposed to report to the Attorney General, not so far Attorney General, China, so report to my Chief of Staff. Not the Chief of Staff, I catch Attorney General said, the OSP for any and one to umboa or more. Not so who fair China because I Attorney General and the force umboa OSP. Like to say, I didn't know why I catch you director or much catch you. You know, like you understand. Definitely something is going on here. And to say, Mr. Moro should make that point and now say like on Casa in favor of the OSP in this case. So
to make any determination on a legal matter without reference to the Attorney General. And the OSP as a lawyer, as a law-governed organization, so should know that. You understand? So they write to the Chief of Staff, and the Chief of Staff rightly refers the letter to the Attorney General.
Okay.
The Attorney General says that, look, we cannot proceed without a docket. So whatever state the docket is in at that moment, whatever state, completed, uncompleted, whatever, bring the docket. But in addition to bringing the docket, we need 2 of your investigators to work with us in order to prepare to make the case for extradition. As we speak now, today, that docket has not been submitted.
They're still investigating.
Did you read the letter?
Then it's all like the Attorney General, they say something unreasonable, and I said they made some unreasonable demands. Also present the full case, then give me 2 of your best. Then we both work on the extradition case together. Like, why would the OSP hesitate in this?
From the Attorney General's office.
Yes, I did.
It says, whatever state the docket is in, completed, uncompleted, whatever, bring it.
And they said they are not ready.
They are not ready
to bring the docket as it is.
No, they said they can't unless they are done.
They are done with what? And I can be initiating extradition. What?
You can't force
but the OSP, based on Article 88, is only exercising powers that the Attorney General allows it to exercise.
Right.
It's a subordinate organization. Is that clear?
No, that's true. Yes.
It's a subordinate organization. So how does the subordinate organization say that we will not listen to, we want to do as we like? And
how can they do that?
The letter from the Attorney General, its insistence that, look, wherever the docket is, whatever state the docket is, bring it. But bring 2 of your investigators along.
That's even good.
It's a clear message.
They want to cooperate.
It's a clear message that at that stage, the Attorney General wanted to exercise oversight over the process as is empowered by law, by the Constitution to do. It is clear that at that stage, the Attorney General was exercising its full powers and so on. So what is the basis of the reluctance of the OSP to submit the docket? These are the issues at play.
Question is, Kwesi,
Yeah.
Does the Attorney General's department really need a docket, strictly speaking? Do you need a
From
docket?
all the lawyers I've heard, I'm not a lawyer, I didn't go to
Yes.
law school. Okay. But from all the lawyers I've heard, all of them, without exception, have made the point that to institute an extradition process, you need a docket.
You just need information.
No, you need a docket.
Information. Has there been an arrest warrant? You send it. Has there been an Interpol red alert notice? You send it. Has there been, how do you call it, what are the, like you rightly mentioned, the officers from the OSP who are supposed to join the Attorney General's, officials from the Attorney General's department to go and do this extradition in America. You supply them. Finish. Because that docket we're talking about, Kwesi, also has many other institutions and businesses who are being investigated in that same docket.
No.
We're being told.
No.
There's the SML
No.
group, which is contained in that same document.
But that is in relation to Ken Ofori-Atta and his conduct as finance minister.
Yes.
Finish.
Yes.
So it doesn't have others, only one.
No, but the OSP is saying that you want to extradite Ken from America. We can give you the information related to Ken Ofori-Atta as in Ken Ofori-Atta, and not all the other allied institutions that have been investigated in relation to Ken Ofori-Atta. We don't want to give you that. That's what.
But if you give all the information relating to only Ken Ofori-Atta, you have to. Then what kind of information are they, man? No, definitely you work with other people. So if you are giving the information on what Ken Ofori-Atta did, you have to include the people that he worked with. What is this? I'm not here to choose sides. I do not want to say that what the OSP is doing is bizarre, although it's very bizarre. Or I do not want to say that what the AG is doing is in the right. And I do not know the reason why the OSP is withholding information from the Attorney General. Maybe the OSP hesitating to give it to the AG is maybe due to maybe they perceive that the Attorney General's office should have, had built that case, but they didn't. So they are doing their job for them. So it's a little bit ridiculous for them to request. I do not know. I'm just shooting the shot here, but it's a little bit ridiculous. So let's continue.
But that's the OSP's position.
No.
And that docket contains other pieces of information that you, Attorney General's department, you don't need.
More.
No, I'm saying that's what the OSP tells us through that statement that they issued.
Yeah, but it appears that you believe that.
No. I'm just asking questions based on what they're saying.
Don't worry about that.
It appears you do. It appears he does.
The OSP claims that it is investigating Mr. Ofori-Atta in respect of many transactions that he carried out on behalf of the government of Ghana, including the STL and so on. Okay.
Yeah.
So you cannot ask for extradition without providing information on the transactions that he undertook on behalf of Ghana with all the other organizations. You cannot.
Okay.
That's the gravamen of the case. That's the basis of the case for extradition.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So nobody should make that argument.
Okay.
It is too pedestrian.
Right.
Please, don't waste our time with that argument.
What is pedestrian? The adjective and as an adverb. But you can see how this note is quite like a circuit. It's like whereas we are Office of the Special Prosecution in person say, sir, information now at the Attorney General a request for no. And who here? But wouldn't matter information that Attorney General a request for, according to what Mr. Pratt is saying. No more, and I will serve as a base. I'm betting the extraditing Ken Ofori-Atta. But I don't know go for it or one farm. And then the case, I don't know what docketing. And then the woman information being the woman, the Office of the Special Prosecution and per se Attorney General Office who's information. And into a moment, we yes, I dance around the fire. This is a very interesting case. So I guess we are all here to learn about the development. So this is the Anti-Partisan network, and as usual, we are just applying common sense to things that may appear to be confusing to the pedestrian. So we are all pedestrians here, trying to understand what these educated people who find themselves on this higher level of power and influence, whatever it is that they are doing. It crumbles down to our level, and it's up to us to understand with the crumbs of information that is passed down to us. So my name is Johnson. It's another episode on the Anti-Partisan Network. Thank you for sticking with me to the end, and subscribe and like. See you in the next one.